Welcome back, Math 2. Today we're going to go a little further with simplifying radicals, and now we are going to start to include variables into our radicals and how to simplify those. The numbers are still going to be the same. We want to find the largest square number. Okay. But variables are going to be different. So largest square number, I just drew a square because I'm being lazy. Okay, so let's talk about just how to simplify a variable first, and then we will mix the variables with the numbers. Okay, so the reason square numbers gets canceled out by a square root is because exponents of 2 and square roots cancel each other out. So this and a little exponent of 2 cancel out. So if, for example, I have the square root of x squared, that square root and that exponent of 2 cancel each other out and leave me with x. Okay. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to look at whatever exponent we are given and think to ourselves, how many pairs of 2 or how many sets of 2 can we have in there? So let's say I had the square root of x to the third. Okay. Well, 3, an exponent of 3, means I can have 1x squared, and there will be an x left over. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3. You can even put the 1 here if it makes you feel better. Okay. In this case, the square and the exponent of 2 cancel out, leaving me with x on the outside and an x on the inside as well. Okay, so all of your odd numbered exponents will still have an x left over in the square root. It's kind of like the leftover number that doesn't have a square root stays inside the square root. Okay, if I have x to the 6th though, okay, that's 3 pairs of x squared, all of which will cancel out, and I'll have x, 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 which simplifies to x to the third. Okay, so what some people notice as well is that, especially with even ones, I went from an exponent of 6 to an exponent of 3. So if you have an even number, think about it, you're pairing them off and then canceling out. So you're really just cutting the exponent in half. With an odd number, let's say I had 7, okay, I'd have 3 pairs again, that gets me to 6. And then I have 1 left over. So it's like you're going to go down to the nearest even number, because guess what? These are going to cancel out and give me x cubed again. I'm just going to also have 1 left over in the square root. Okay. So let's try mixing this with some numbers real quick too. All right. So we'll do 36x cubed. We'll do 50x to the 6th. Actually, we'll make it x to the 8th. And then our last one, we will do 405 x squared y to the 5th. Very good. Okay. Let's go back up to the 36x cubed. Okay. Now we all should know that 36 has a square root, so I'm going to leave it alone. But the x cubed, I'm going to split into x squared and x. Okay. The 36 becomes a 6. The x squared becomes an x. And I have 1x left over inside the square root. So that is my final answer. My 50x to the 8th, let's see, 50, the largest square number that goes into it is 25. So I'm going to split this into 25 and 2. And then I have 4 pairs of x squared. 1, 2, 3, 4. But like I said, with the even numbers, you can just think of, okay, I'm going to cut that exponent in half because I have 4 pairs, so it's going to result in having 4 x's. So it's going to be an x to the 4th in the end. Okay. 25 will simplify to 5. 2 has to stay in its square root. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's, so that'll be x to the 4th on the outside. So I have 5x to the 4th times the square root of 2. Okay. All right, this last one. Okay. I'm first going to try to figure out what goes into 405. So let's see, 405, just to give me a start, if I divide it by 2, I get 202.5. So I need to be lower than 202.5. I'm going to try, I'm looking at my list of square numbers. So I'm going to try dividing by 169, which is 13 squared. Nope. I'm going to try, I don't think I'm going to try 144. I don't think that'll give me a 5. I'm going to try 121. Nope. I'm not going to try 100 because 100 goes into 400, but not 405. So I'm going to move on down to 81. Oh, and I get it. 81 and 5. Okay. So I've got 81, which is a square number. I've got 5. I have an x squared already, which is perfect. That's ready to cancel out. And I have a y to the 5th, which is going to give me 2 pairs or 2 sets of y squared and a y left over. So let's see here. I'm even going to real quick underline the stuff I know is going to have to stay inside the square root. So that 5 and this y on the end. Everything else will come out. Okay, so 81 turns into 9. I have an x, and I have 2 y's. So it's going to become y squared. So on my outside, I'll have 9x y squared.